Hey everybody, it's now time for my daytime real life gray and blue sweatsuit with zipper superhero intro for various reviews, rants, and other topics. This is a special daytime version with the same costumes and the same intro songs, only this time reverse. In this version, the new Netflix song I debuted in the previous Netflix Something You Can Never Own song I debuted in the previous video that will play as the intro, and my walkout song will once again be Jeff Hardy's Modest to the Top in this version. The second version will be the same thing, with Kurt Angle's theme being my walkout song, and my taunts and mannerisms will be the same. They will be similar to Teddy Hart, Monty Brown, Bobby Lashley, Hulk Hogan, the Sonic character Knuckles, and finishing it off with Ryu's Hadouken. So once again, you're wondering where I got the song Netflix. You can find it easily here on YouTube, but if you want to know, just message me, and I'll give you the link to the song, or tell you how to find the song. But the song is Netflix, Neeflex. That's the name of the band. That's the name of the band or singer that performs it, and the song is called Something You Can Never Own. I got the song from a YouTube user named Andy Mellon, who does a lot of anime and abridged series reactions. So, with that being said, let me get started right now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you gon' do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, outside of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own.
Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero rant, and this time, this is my rant and thoughts on Candace Owens' recent firing from the Daily Wire, and my history with Candace, my history and current thoughts on Candace Owens. When I first discovered Candace Owens in 2017, I instantly became a fan, and I supported her up until this year. So pretty much 7+ years of supporting Candace Owens. I supported her up until this year in her most recent firing from the Daily Wire. She was saying all the things. She was saying all the things I believe and all the things that needed to be said. All the things that needed to be said, and said things that instantly got support and approval from people like me. Number one, she spoke out against Me Too, the Me Too and Speak Out movements, the evil Me Too and Speak Out movements, which I'm one of the things. This is one of the things that scares me each and every day, and one of the primary enemies. One of the primary enemies of me. So she spoke out against Me Too. She spoke out against Me Too. Number two, she spoke out against all of these lame celebrities like T.I., Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Snoop Dogg and many more, who for years ruined the image of brown Afro-American people, and now want to speak out and give their relevant lame opinions on politics. So she earned points and my approval for that. Number three, bashing the you know what out of Colin Kaepernick, and pointing out the hypocrisy of Colin Kaepernick. Oh man, Colin Kaepernick, that guy helped ruin and take football. That guy ruined football for me. There are other factors that made me stop watching and caring about football, but Colin Kaepernick and his kneeling and his BS and calling out the hypocrisy of Colin Kaepernick, that earns points for me. But a bunch of people have done that. And five, telling the truth about the Afro-American community and who you should really be worried about. The media teaches you, oh, you should hate, you should fear, oh, you should hate, you should fear, you should hate, you should fear white people, especially white cops. Yet, especially in my life, all the people doing horrible things to you, all the people doing horrible things to me, at least in my life, are Afro-Americans. Any white people I have a problem with, they're either on the internet far away in some place, or in some government office that I can never get to. Yet the Afro-American people in my life, they're who are causing problems in my life, and who the ones who will are living amongst me, or I will encounter them in the future. Yes, maybe there are evil whites out there, but they're not in my life currently. Right now, she was speaking out against them, and then I'm gonna protest, throw things, call for dead cops. When it comes to the criminal problem, cops are the only ones who can stop the criminal problem. Baltimore. This is the incident. It was the Baltimore and Ferguson incident where I finally lost and I abandoned all respect for all Afro-Americans. When these a-holes set up there, they did it again with George Floyd. These a-holes had the audacity to sit up there and destroy. Public property, innocent people's public property, attack and beat innocent people, steal and loot stores, burn down things, all in the name of Freddie Gray, a guy they didn't know, a guy who accidentally died in police custody. He wasn't like brutal. He wasn't brutally murdered like some of the like others where it wasn't by a gun. It wasn't by what you call it. It was a It was an accidental. It was an accidental death, and then it was all over. Not only did they not apologize for what they did, not only did they get away scot free, but when the crime got worse, when the crime in those communities got worse, they had the audacity to call upon that same supremacist system they said was racist to come and solve the criminal problem. It was here where I abandoned all respect for Afro-Americans. Abandoned all respect for Afro-Americans. So you get and pro-blacks and N-words in general. Pro-blacks and N-words. They talk about being so pro-black, yet all you see them doing is oppressing other Afro-Americans and brown people. Then, the one time when they do fight white people, they don't threaten or fight white people, but when they do, it's some weaker one they never had an encounter with. So that's where people like me, Candace Owens, Tommy Sotomayor, that's where we come in. We say all the things about you that you don't want people to say, that you don't want people to think or say about you, but it's the truth, and everyone knows it's the truth. They can't say it because they'll be canceled, they'll be fired, fired. It gets to the point, and this is where most Afro-Americans want it, where white people they basically have to avoid and fear you. They look at you wrong, they say the wrong thing to you, they're done. And I'm really getting sick of that. And we were sick of Afro-Americans bullying their way into anything, not earning it like other races, not earning everything like other races. Bullying your way to anything, either through fear and intimidation. And if the fear and intimidation doesn't work, the white guilt, making white people feel sorry for you, feel guilty for you for what happened to you 50 plus years ago and back in slavery times. And none of that has anything to do with what's going on. Now. So since you can judge all white people based upon it, myself in which we can talk trash and judge you, the entire Afro-Americans, and hold you accountable for your crimes. We can hold you for the crimes of other people. We can't harm, hurt, or kill you. We can hold you accountable, and that's why I like Candace Owens. The biggest things I fear in my the biggest things I fear in my worst enemies are Afro-American women, feminazis, Me Too, and gold digging trash, which that can be any race, which is why I said Afro-American women and the others. Number two, N-words and pro-blacks. I gave you the description of N-words and pro-blacks and how hypocritical, lame and useless and tyrannical they really are. Which brings me to number three. Tyrants and bullies. For liberals and Democrats. Even though myself don't really care much for politics, but liberals and Democrats and conservatives, which I identify with more nowadays, they do what you call sick of liberals. Democrats always trying to force things and bully people for being conservative stuff. So I'm gonna give it right back. I'm gonna give it right back to you. So liberals and Democrats. 5 is I'll talk about 5 in another video. The other ones I'll talk about in another video. But those top four. And going back to the tyrants and bullies, unsupportive, toxic, two-faced, arrogant, tyrannical parents. Those are the worst enemies of me. What I am fighting against. I don't care I'm a supporter of Donald Trump, but I don't care about the Donald Trump trial, the Donald Trump Biden, what you call it. I really didn't care about the Donald Trump Hillary. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at myself for being forced to care about that, and I really didn't care about Obama, the Obama, Senator McCain, and Remy election. Don't care about any of the stuff in politics. So this is why I liked Candace. And in my opinion, no more pro black, the anti-black. My opinion, that is the way I actually see now. This I don't care about this either, but I actually see how I actually understand more so now how what people like Candace Owens was saying, how it was helping the Afro-American community. No more praise towards that community. No, bash the hell out of them. You only show respect when it's deserved, and when we see it, But until then, anti-blacks. That's the way to go. So yeah, I was supporting Candace, and she kept each time she kept hitting the ball out of the park, telling the truth about George Floyd and the danger of uplifting someone like Floyd as a hero, teaching young Afro-Americans that supporting someone like Floyd teaches kids it's okay to commit crimes, it's okay to show no accountability, and when you're in the presence of a police officer, it's okay to not only is it okay to commit crimes, when you commit the crime and you rightfully get punished for it, it's okay to resist arrest, fight the cops. You'll get shot, killed, and people will throw parades. Other people will have parades, multiple funerals, and riot, loot, all in my honor. So no, that's why you don't support Floyd. She was one of the wild cards to tell the truth about Floyd. People try to say, "Oh, she was focusing on George Floyd's past." Well, you guys focus on the killers. You guys focus on his past. Why can't we judge Floyd and many more on his past? So yeah, it was going well. But these are why I liked Candace Owens. And then the biggest one, which made me almost a super fan of Candace Owens for life. The biggest one, her greatest deed, was the George Floyd documentary and walking up and pulling up on Patrisse Cullors, the Black Lives Matter leader, who had the audacity to raise and defund the good people out of $92 million, played on people's emotions, and used that money to purchase houses in white people's neighborhoods. And Candace Owens was one of the only people not only doing videos on it, well, most people were doing videos on it, but she was the only one to run up on Patrisse Cullors. She was going to run up on Patrisse Cullors, and that became her mission she says so in the documentary, that became her mission, to continue to expose Patrisse Cullors until justice is served. Some form of justice is served. And this is when I decided to abandon Candace Owens. It wasn't until after her firing, though. Somehow she got distracted from Patrisse Cullors, which I consider a bigger issue, and started involving herself with the Palestine-Israel BS, made the comments about the Jews, and even once got offended over a harmless rap song, a harmless new rap song called by a rapper named Hot Spice, who has a hilariously awesome song that a lot of people, an hilariously awesome song that I like, but a lot of people hate and like offended by. When it's just a harmless comedy, harmless comedy song, and it's Ice Spice's "You Think You the S, but You Ain't Even the Fart," and Candace Owens was like so outraged and so offended by this, when I consider the Patrice Cullors thing to be a bigger issue. I consider what Patrice Cullors and the Black Lives Matter did to be a bigger issue. She got distracted and she was concerned with that. But you still supported her. You still supported her. And even during the Ben Shapiro conflict in late 2023, where her eventual firing was planted in late 2023 when they clashed. Her 2024 firing that just recently happened was planned in late 2023 when those two clashed. But I still supported her after that. But here is where I finally abandoned her. When she was finally fired from the Daily Wire, I wonder what was her backup plan. Because she had to have known. She had to have known it was eventually gonna happen. She concerned herself with the wrong things, ran her mouth with the wrong things, and yes, forgot her place. I'm not a fan of people being canceled. I'm not a fan of people being canceled or fired. But when you forget your place and when you make controversial comments like that, especially for the people you're working for, you deserve what happens to you. And especially when you do it knowing you have no actual backup. And look at her actually. This is the final one. Their backup. Her two backups. This is, firstly, she does what every, and I defended Candace Owens from a bunch of haters and naysayers, but this I can't defend. She did what every hater and naysayer said she was going to do. When she got the wake-up call, when she got fired, she was going to run back to Afro-American. She was going to run back to Afro-American communities. She's trying to get on all of these. She's trying to get on all these black media. She was on the Breakfast Club. She recently, after talking trash about Afro-American communities, she's now giving them more unneeded praise after her most recent firing. Her most recent firing and now the biggest sin, even bigger, worse than that, which is bad. The biggest sin, instead of having a backup career, backup plan, or actual side hustle, moving over to the next grift and the next scam. Now she's moving over to the locals website, which is a paid website. You have to pay to use that. The locals website. Her website, is she promised a new YouTube channel in the future, and she calls it her career her show and career as a journalist. You're a YouTube social media actor and personality, which last time I checked was free. She's one of those people who's gonna be talking on a webcam and a microphone like I'm doing right now, expecting you to donate and pay just for someone's opinion on something. Take your butt to work somewhere. Get an actual job, just like Willie D. And this is when I abandoned all respect for Candace Owens. All the stuff, it was just one gigantic grift, which I didn't want to believe or accept. It was one gigantic grift. It was one gigantic grift. It was one gigantic grift. And then what she got fired for? The Jews. Talking trash and making anti-Semitic remarks about the Jews. Firstly, I have no issues with the Jews. But if I did, I still wouldn't say it. I still wouldn't openly say it on what you call it, because that whole conflict does not concern me. That whole conflict what's going internationally, none of that stuff concerns me. The Patrice Cullors, Black Lives Matter, BS. That was a bigger problem. That was a pressing issue here in America. And this is why I no longer support Candace Owens, and I'm okay with the Daily Wire parting ways, parting ways, parting ways with her. I defend her a lot from a lot of things, but it turns out with all those N-words and wannabe pro-blacks said about her, those her detractors, her haters, it was the truth. It was the truth. It was one gigantic grip and one gigantic scam. And I hate the YouTube scam, forcing people to pay you just for your opinion on something. Yeah, saying like I can't believe I'm gonna quote. I hate Willie D. I despise Willie D. But I can't even quote him because he's gonna say, "Oh, support my work." What work? You're talking on a webcam. Yeah. Legendary YouTuber, keyboard musician, Trippin' Ain't Easy. These are the only ones to call out these YouTubers who will be doing YouTube videos. These YouTube scammers and fraudulent people will be doing YouTube videos, and constantly throughout the videos going to be asking for cash apps or donate to my Patreon, donate here, constantly give money. And I just can't stand to say that. If anyone wants to say, well, you're doing it, all my YouTube videos are free. The only money I will be receiving from that I will be taking and receiving from people is the money for my comic book, and picture novel business, and any money from YouTube's assets. I'm a screenwriter, cartoonist, movie producer, combat vehicle sports athlete, grocery, video game, comic book, book store, arcade, and gym worker. Those are my careers and occupations. So if anyone wants to bring that up, wants to try that with me, don't. So and I really hate to do this before I close out. Anyone has a problem with what I'm saying about Candace Owens, I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry, because I actually supported this person. But if you got a problem with that, hate to do it this time, but feel free to come and do something about it. Because I'm the one you call when you need your ass kicked. Call me, Douglas Blair Roberts, Super Beta 400, the brown skinned human, the equalizer, the ass kicking machine, and I will rearrange your jaw. I will rearrange your jaw and correct what your forefathers and your parents didn't do and kick your ass. They didn't kick your ass when you were a child. I will. So with that being said, anyone else who has a problem with it, you can suck my dick and kiss the brownest and stinkiest part of my ass. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and you like to what you want. So limping, cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own.